Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock here on your Tuesday. Welcome to Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham. Jenny Power joins us now in the Weather Center. Hey, Jenny, good morning. What do people need to know to get ready for their Tuesday?
Yeah, Tim, as we're headed out the door here, we've finally seen the sunrise, but it was a little bit later today. It happened at 5:40 this morning, so just about 20 minutes ago. But it is still kind of a little bit of a smoky and hazy start out there, even though parts of Spokane have seen some great improvements when it comes to current air quality. 59 degrees is the current temperature that we're waking up to through the Spokane area. Winds have been light out of the south-southeast, near 7 miles per hour sustained. We are trending coolest, though, further north. So 44 degrees is where we're at in Deer Park, 46 for Sandpoint. We are now starting to trend in the mid-60s down on the Palouse, with mid-50s for Moses Lake and Ritzville. A look at our current air quality. Parts of Spokane County, including Spokane South Hill, have been waking up to moderate conditions. Unhealthy for some along the state line, and we are still experiencing some pockets of unhealthy air quality near where some of the Spokane area fires continue to burn. It's also unhealthy for Omak, Wilbur, and Chewelah, but we'll continue to be dealing with this really here until further notice as fires continue to burn. Winds across the region are light, but these winds coming out of the south-southeast have been helping to push some more of that wildfire smoke further to north of where fires are burning. It is going to be another dry day here ahead of us, with temperatures near average, reaching the mid to upper 80s across much of the region this afternoon. Winds are going to be a little bit breezy at times, especially toward the Cascade Gaps in central Washington, so we'll keep a close eye on that. I am tracking, though, some changes arriving for Wednesday, even the threat of some thunderstorm activity. The full look at that, though, in just a few minutes. Tim?
My mom had a beautiful crystal cabinet. Crystal from all over the world. And it's all just melted into the most incredible shape.
As some people are returning home to what's left of their homes, they are trying to make the best of an unfortunate situation. The man you just heard from was listening to Pearl Jam, digging for memories that might have survived the fire. He says it helps give him the strength. And this here is a look at the current evacuation map at this hour. And as you can see, all the evacuations for the Fairview fire now lifted, which is good news. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office says the downgrades really show how successful firefighting efforts have been. Meantime, you can see the level 1 shaded in green there. That's be ready. And level 3 go now shaded in red. That means go now. Those evacuations still in place for the Autumn Lane and Old Trails fires, but a big improvement. And more than a week after the fires, crews are getting the upper hand on containment on the Spokane Area Fires. The Autumn Lane and Old Trails fires are at 73% contained, while the Fairview fire is 97% contained. Thousands of evacuees are making their way back to their neighborhoods, and while many left their homes in an instant when the fires broke out, some chose to stay. KREM 2's Christian Garza live for us this morning. So Christian, you actually spoke to a woman who stayed and helped fight the fires. Tell us more about what happened.
Yeah, Tim, good morning. Well, as plumes of black smoke covered this neighborhood here near Indian Trail Road, many saw it as a sign to grab what they could and run. But for one neighbor, Max Powell, she looked outside and saw it as a call to action.
For more than a week, these streets were quiet. Houses sat empty, driveways were clear, and the people who lived here were left waiting to find out if they'd have anything to come back to. Now the sound of car engines and conversations have returned as families make their way back home for the first time since the Spokane complex fires forced them out.
Sunday morning, I didn't sleep all night, as I'm sure nobody did.
For Tricia Lord, coming home meant finally seeing for herself what was left behind.
I knew I was certain the house would be gone, the way the wind was moving, and yeah, of course, it's just terrifying.
But while Lord and so many others were away, someone was still here.
You didn't leave?
Nope.
Oh, Max.
In it with the firefighters over there. So.
Max.
Max. I go by Max.
Max Powell has lived here for more than a decade. She built a life in this neighborhood after serving our country. And when the fire threatened the place she called home, she says she couldn't leave it behind.
So I was hosing down houses. I drove up to where the houses were on fire, and there was a firefighter that lives there. Him and his 2 buddies had kept the line really well. I asked if they needed help, and the only help that they needed was just hosing down houses. So I just kept hosing down houses that I could reach to.
Every day, she patrolled these now empty streets, checking on homes, watching the fire, and doing what she could to protect the neighborhood she knew so well.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't sleep at night. I mean, I just kept seeing smoke, and every time I saw smoke, I got in the Jeep and drove around, make sure it was just smoke.
But her efforts came at a cost.
Yeah, I got hurt. I fractured my right foot.
At the height of the fires, she says this neighborhood felt like a war zone.
But I just kept going. I couldn't, you know, the military and me or what, I just had to keep helping.
A feeling she knows all too well after serving in Iraq.
This, to me, was even worse. I mean, in Iraq, I didn't have my pets to worry about. I didn't have family members to worry about. You just took care of each other and just took care of the zones. But here, it was different. I mean, you have loved ones around you and you're trying to keep them alive. I feel like this was worse.
Powell says she wasn't the only one who stayed. A handful of her neighbors also refused to leave, staying behind to protect the homes and streets they loved. But for Powell, there was always one question hanging over her head. When would it be over?
That was my hardest thing, was not knowing if I was just going to have to sit here and wait and wait.
But the streets aren't empty anymore, meaning Powell doesn't have to continue to keep watch.
Hopefully I'll sleep soon, now that everybody's home.
And while we were out here talking with Powell about what she did during these fires, neighbor after neighbor came out of their homes to thank her for everything that she had done. She said that she didn't feel like she was a hero, but these neighbors who came home to their houses still standing, well, they feel otherwise. In Spokane County, I'm Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
In terms of vegetation management, this project is one of the largest, if not the largest, in Avista's history.
With Avista will be back out removing fire-damaged trees and other vegetation near power grids and pole lines. They began a big portion of their work yesterday. Although some fire-damaged trees may look healthy, they can become unstable and possibly fall. People returning to evacuated zones can expect to see contractor crews and some temporary traffic delays. And this morning, the Meade Post Office is back open. The post office was temporarily closed because of the fires and evacuation orders. USPS announced because of the evacuations being lifted, they are able to open back up. Spokane Public Schools is expected to declare a wildfire emergency during tomorrow's school board meeting. SPS says 16 schools and other district facilities have been impacted by the fires, affecting their ability to accommodate students. With this declaration, the school district is able to waive certain steps like competitive bidding to get the schools fixed. Today and tomorrow, the Disaster Assistance Center at Shadle Park High School is adjusting their hours. The center will be open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Shadle Park High School. The Spokane Public Schools says after tomorrow, the center will be closed. The drop-in day camp will be open today and tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. With so much destruction and heartache right now in our community, we've launched the Help to Northwest campaign. It's a partnership between KREM, the American Red Cross, and Rosars. You can help out and donate right now by using this QR code on your screen, or you can visit our website, krem.com, click on the Help to Northwest link. It goes right to the Red Cross. We want to say a big thank you. Together, collectively, we've raised more than $387,000 for fire victims.
And now let's get you out the door with what we're seeing on the morning commute. I want to start by showing you a live look at I-90 and Havana, where, and again, that note is that the sun is finally risen. Now, might need the sunglasses if you're headed out there, but otherwise, traffic volumes have started to increase a little bit, but in general, things are moving smoothly. Continuing to take a look across the region, this puts us out toward the folks that might be traveling to or from Airway Heights, I-90 and US 2. Early this morning, there was some construction, but things are smooth going for now. Those crews kind of moved on out of there. As we take a look at your traffic maps, we've been in the green. No major collisions to report to you at this hour, so you're good to go. Tim?